Hey guys, it's Ally, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about one thing that I would change about almost every Girl of the Year. Because there were a few Girl of the Year dolls that I spent weeks thinking about one thing that I would want to change, and I genuinely could not think of anything because they are too good or too flawless. So I guess this is a ranking of, at least in my opinion, which dolls are the best because there's nothing I would change. This video idea is from the doll place, by the way, so maybe I'll do this with historical dolls, maybe I'll do it with Truly Me dolls. I don't know, Truly Me dolls have like way less to critique than the other lines, but yeah. Also, before we get into the video, quick little promo. If you are not subscribed to Boy Meets Dolls, you definitely should subscribe to her. She's one of my really close friends, and she is a really talented AGTuber, and she currently has a series on her channel called In Mike's Opinion. It's inspired by your classic 90s sitcom, and the episodes are quite long too. I voice Hannah, AGJitters, The Doll Place, and a bunch of other AGTubers you like are in that series as well. Go check it out, and I will have episode 1 linked in the description. Episode 2 is out at the time of filming. Without further ado, into the video. The first Girl of the Year is Lindsay Bergman, and there is one really big thing that I would change about her, and if you disagree that this needs to be changed, then something is really wrong with you. And I think that Lindsay needed a bigger collection. Yes, she was the first Girl of the Year. She was quite experimental, so they didn't really want to give her a big collection as she might not have sold well, which I believe Lindsay wasn't the best-selling doll, especially compared to newer Girl of the Years. But either way, her collection was really tiny. She wasn't even given a second outfit, so even something like pajamas for her would have been really great. So according to American Girl Wiki, Lindsay was a very poor seller. Like I said, having a smaller collection made sense for Lindsay, but who knows, maybe a bigger collection would have allowed for more sales as more people wanted to fully immerse themselves in this doll's story. Besides the doll, the only items in Lindsay's collection were her laptop and her bag, as well as her scooter. Not even the dog that is featured on the front cover of her book. Though the laptop is a super cool piece, I would have loved another outfit for Lindsay, and I hope that most of you guys agree. The next doll is Kayley. Yes, I think she also deserved a bigger collection, but I'm trying really not to repeat things I would change because then this video could be very boring very fast. So I'm gonna talk about the yellowing defect that a lot of Kayley dolls have. Now, I don't own Kayley, so I do not have first-hand experience with this, but there's a defect with a lot of Kayley dolls where over time their skin starts to yellow. I'm not sure if every Kayley has it or just specific ones on the secondhand market. Wish she did not have that defect because as far as I'm aware, Lindsay did not have that defect, but Kayley did. Might need to fact check that. Next is Marisol, and I could not think of anything I would change about her. Maybe a bigger collection as she is an earlier Girl of the Year. I've not read her story, so I don't really want to comment too much on that. Her meat outfit is not my favorite, but it's very 2000s, so it works for the time, so I wouldn't change it. And of course, as a dancer, I do love the dance theme, and she was the first one, so it was still very creative at the time. Next is Jess, and I had to think really hard about what I would change about her. I had to consult some friends on this one, and in the end, I decided to say her travel story. Yes, she was the first traveling Girl of the Year, but having your parents move for work to a whole nother country isn't really the most realistic and relatable compared to some other Girl of the Years. I know people love reading about their fun adventures and things like that because this whole travel trope was repeated in newer Girl of the Years. It's not as original, but she was the first to do it, so I do have to give her credit. But honestly, I can't complain too much about Jess. She introduced a new mold. I love her tropical theme, so that's Jess. Next is Nikki, and the thing I would probably change the most about Nikki is her appearance, just because it's quite boring in my opinion. She does remind me a lot of Truly Me 33 as well. So Truly Me 33 did release in 2009, so she was not around when Nikki was released. So I guess that's more faulting the Truly Me line for not being original with their dolls. And even American Girl Wiki is like, this doll is similar and looks to Nikki Fleming. But even so, I just feel like compared to other dolls, she doesn't really have a standout feature. Jess had a brand new mold. Lindsay has a very unique wig. Kayley, you can argue, isn't that unique either. But yeah, I feel like Nikki could have been a lot more creative appearance-wise. I do like her outfits. I like that she has a lot of animals, but then she has some like winter apparel too, which was very common with the Girl of the Years around this time. Mia and Chrissa had winter apparel as well. So yeah, that's my main critique with Nikki. Next is Mia, another Girl of the Year that was really hard to find one thing I would want to change about her. This was the time when Girl of the Years were starting to get a bigger collection. I absolutely want her bed when I found out it was an item, and I think she's a really really pretty doll overall, but I think the critique I'm going to give Mia is that she does look a little bit like a Truly Me doll. There are a lot of redheads in the 30s, including some who look kind of similar to Mia. I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head if the red is the same shade, but she is a classic mold. She has freckles, which are super cute, hazel eyes, which are quite overused nowadays. So as much as I do love Mia and her feature combination, with the Truly Me line, I don't think she's the most unique girl of the year appearance-wise, but once again, another doll that's really hard to fault because I think she's really pretty and one of the better girl of the years American Girl has made. Next is Chrissa, and this is another thing that I'm pretty sure most of you guys agree with, that I wish American Girl did differently. And as you guys probably know, Chrissa had two best friend dolls. She had a Gwen doll and a Sonali doll in her collection. But unlike the historical best friends, these dolls had no collection. They didn't even have a book of their own. I think they came with like keeping and making friends book or something. So I really wish that these dolls had more to work with. In the movie, the characters had multiple outfits. I really loved all the matching outfits that the Mean Bees did. Giving them a collection would be super cool. I haven't read Chrissa's books, so I'm basing my knowledge off of the movie, which I know isn't always the most accurate, but I know that in the movie, Gwen played an instrument, so it would be really fun to see that for the doll, even though instruments existed in the Truly Me line. Similar to Sonali, give her something in her collection. Give them PJs for sleepovers and things like that. Chrissa overall, I think she's a pretty unique combination for the Girl of the Year line in terms of appearance, and I do like her collection. Next are Lainey and Kanani, both amazing dolls. I own both of them, and I could not find any faults. As much as I do like Girl of the Year dolls staying for 1 year, because of how popular Kanani was, maybe they could have kept her for another year, but I still do like her being exclusive in 2011. This is where we briefly talk about my thoughts on how long Girl of the Year should be around, because I got a comment about this, and I want to explain myself. Yes, I do think because of the name Girl of the Year that they should only stay for a year because it's like exclusive for the year. However, if American Girl is continuing on their current trajectory of having Girl of the Years around for multiple years, then if I wish the current Girl of the Year to be around for 1 year, that's probably not going to happen. So as much as personally I wish the American Girl dolls would stay around for 1 year with what's currently happening, if American Girl had that mindset back in 2011, I wouldn't be mad if they kept Kanani for another year. Does that make sense? I'm trying not to sound hypocritical here. Anyways, McKenna is another one I could not fault, partly because I have a lot of nostalgia for her, as she was the first Girl of the Year available when I got into American Girl, as in like the magazines. So I watched her movie premiere and all that stuff. Next is Sage. Now Sage, when I think about her compared to the other Girl of the Year, she doesn't stand out too much. So the main thing I would change would probably be her story. Now I know some people really like her story, but for me, even just with the movies, it's the one I care to watch the least. I have the DVD of the Sage movie and I have not watched it in so many years. I think just the whole beige day thing makes me think that Sage is boring because beige is like the boring color. That's why they did it for the protest. But she's also a horse girl, which we have seen with Nikki before. She does art, but there's various forms of art shown in other Girl of the Years. I think Sage is a beautiful doll. I like her collection, but she just doesn't have that spark that like makes me want to learn more about her and her story compared to the other girls. And I did read her books back in the day when she first came out, and I do still have them. The illustrations were beautiful, but yeah, there's just nothing super crazy that sticks out in my mind about her. So I wish there was like more of a hook or interesting moment that happened, like McKenna sprained her ankle. Oh my god. Grace, MasterChef. I don't know if that was in the books. Wish her story was more interesting. Next is Isabelle, and I know what you guys are all going to say, that I wish she had a different hobby, but if you've watched my videos at all, you know I love Isabelle as a dancer. And she does ballet as well. I believe Marisol's main style of dance was not ballet. The styles are very different. That could be more creative, but since I do love dance, I'm not gonna say that I wish they changed that about Isabelle. I also own a few pieces in her collection, and I just relate to her a lot because she is a dancer. So we're not changing that. The thing I would change though would be her appearance. As much as I do love the way Isabelle looks, she does look quite similar to Lainey. So it's not the same as looking like a Truly Me doll. Isabelle's literally in the same line as Lainey. They're both blonde, classic molds with hazel eyes. They do have different hair types though, because Isabelle has straight hair. She also has those really cool pink extensions. Lainey's hair is just curly, but yeah, could be a little bit more unique there. But overall, I do like Isabelle more than the average AG tuber or AG fan. Grace and Leah, I can't really fault too much. If you have seen my videos in the past, I would say maybe I wish that they didn't travel in their stories, as it's not the most relatable type of thing, and they're not really American girls, so if they're story doesn't take place in America. We're not going to dive into that can of worms right now. But overall, they are two Girl of the Years that are higher up on my personal list of my favorite Girl of the Years, so I'm not going to fault them too much, and I do love both of their collections so much. Next is Gabriella. Another thing that you guys probably agree with is I wish she wasn't a recycled doll and that her collection pieces were quite unique. So she is Truly Me 46, if you guys did not know. They retired that doll, brought her back with a new meat outfit, and made her Gabriella. So no creativity there, especially for the first Black Girl of the Year. They couldn't have made another doll to be her. Like, Truly Me 80 came out after, 67 came out after, and they are unique, black, beautiful dolls. And then they just recycled a Truly Me for Gabriella. I know it's because they were in a rush, but it's still annoying. Her collection, though it wasn't the exact same as other pieces that had previously been released by American Girl, was very similar to previous pieces that were released by American Girl. Her bed was similar to McKenna's loft bed, her bar was very similar to Isabelle's dance bar, so I wish there was a little bit more creativity there, and I guess I will fault the hobby. Even though poetry I think was a bigger part of her story, Gabriella still is another dancer and really close to Isabelle on the timeline, so not the most creative there either. I'm not completely bashing Gabriella though, as I do own the doll. Next is Luciana. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I am not the biggest Luciana fan, and the biggest thing I dislike about her is the thing that I wish they would change about her, and that is her meat outfit. Her other outfits are fine, not always my cup of tea, but they're fine. But this dress, I've talked about it before so many times, so I'm not gonna spend forever on it, but Galaxy is a trend that's very dated, in my opinion, very, very stuck in 2018. So it's very hard to make it timeless, like some other Girl of the Year meat outfits, for example. But that's the main thing I would change about Luciana. Give her a new meat outfit and she would be so much better, in my opinion. Blair was another hard one because I know a lot of people don't love Blair, but I personally love her. I think she's really pretty and I absolutely love her wig, and it took me a while to think about what to change. I know the whole wedding planner part of her story isn't super popular. As someone who doesn't really pay attention to the stories as much and focuses more on the doll and their collection, the whole wedding planner aspect doesn't bother me. So Blair has this outfit called Blair's Floral Flare outfit. This is 2019, not that long ago, but this outfit is so weird to me. The leggings, fine. Sandals, fine. But this dress, I've never seen anything like it before. The pattern's fine, but it's just so weird, and I don't think I've ever seen a kid wear something like this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I will just justify I do work with children as my summer job, so I do have experience with children of today. But it's just very weird in my opinion, so I wish they did something better with that outfit. She had her gardening outfit, which was super popular, very, very on trend, no matter your age. So this outfit is just kind of weird to me, but not the biggest deal. That's the main thing I would change about Blair. Next is Jess, and I love Jess as well, but there is one thing I will fault her on. This applies to Kira as well, but the American Girl music videos. I've talked about these a few times on my channel before. Someone even sent me an edit once of the music videos because they know how much I hate them. I just think they're kind of cringy with the lyrics sometimes, not to mention the creepy animation. As far as I'm aware, Joss was the first Girl of the Year to receive her own music video. Why did we have to bring this trend to the Girl of the Year line? Yeah, I did not need to be scarred. And then there's this one music video. I forget what one it is because I think she had multiple, but it's like Joss is on a surfboard in the sunset and she does this really, really creepy wink. I will insert a photo. Tell me that is not scarring. We did not need that, American Girl. Please get rid of the music videos for Joss. Put them on private unlisted. Julie's the one with 1 million views. You can keep that. Joss, we don't need. Finally, our reigning Girl of the Year, Kira. Fun fact, I went to the American Girl store today and I saw Kira for only the second time in person. I've been so good at not buying dolls in person this year. I have bought dolls, but like secondhand. My main con with her is just her appearance. She looks a lot like Julie, especially when her hair is in braids and things like that from far away. Her main difference is really just her eye color. So I do wish that she was a more unique Girl of the Year appearance wise. I don't hate Kira's appearance at all. If Julie didn't exist, I would love Kira, but just the fact that she is so similar definitely takes away some uniqueness from her. So I hope you guys liked hearing what I would change about each Girl of the Year. Hope this wasn't too controversial. There probably is at least 1 or 2 comments being like, you're a hypocrite, I don't agree with you, but that's fine. This is why we have comments, so we can comment down below our thoughts on what we would change about each Girl of the Year. So make sure to do that down below. If you guys liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And make sure you subscribe to my channel for more American Girl doll videos. And of course, have an amazing day, and I will see you guys soon with a new video. Bye guys!